Hey, how's it going? Kenny here, and welcome back to Non-Liter Giants. And up in today's episode, we play our first European game of the series away to Genk. Also featured in today's episode is the South Coast Derby away to fierce rivals Southampton. So up first, we've got our first ever game in the Europa League here in the series. Hopefully it's a lot more to come, and there's definitely a lot more to come this season. There's going to be at least 8 games in European football this season, but hopefully next season or the season after, we start to enter into the Champions League football realm territory. But at the moment it's only the Europa League, but of course that's very nice. It's a lot better than I was expecting this season, to be honest, so it's great to play Europa League football. And also, looking at the teams we've got in the Europa League, obviously it does change when the teams get knocked out of the Champions League, and obviously we get a lot much bigger teams coming at that point. But at the moment, there's not too many teams here, I'd say, that are a lot better than us. The way the league phase is looking, to be honest, I'm pretty sure it's done by seeding. Because as you can see, it's not done by alphabetical order, even though Atletico Madrid are top of the list here. But they're arguably the biggest team they are the biggest team in the Europa League here. Well, in terms of the modern era anyway, they are the best team in the Europa League. And apart from Atletico Madrid, I don't think we're too far off any of the other team's standards. When you take into consideration that West Ham are second in terms of the seeding, we finished like 7 places above them last season. So, yeah, looking at the actual league phase here, I fancy our chances getting in the top 8. So, to break it down for you, obviously, I don't know when it goes to the league phase system. I think it's like 2 or 3 years in the future. Not entirely sure. But as you can see from the green here, the top 8 teams qualify automatically for the knockout round. Teams placed 9th to 24th will play each other in the playoff to potentially get through to the knockout round. And if you finish 25th to 36th, then you are, of course, knocked out. So as long as we finish 24th or above, we're guaranteed to have a shot at getting through to the knockout rounds. To be honest, looking at the teams here in the league phase, I'll be disappointed if we don't reach the top 8. Obviously, we're not playing every single one of these teams, otherwise we've had 35 games. We've got 8 games to play, and that's against Genk, Club Bruges, so two Belgians, which is interesting, away from home, the first 2 games. Not the easiest of games, but also I'd expect to get at least 1 win out of those 2 games, to be honest. Then the next 3 games are relatively easy, I'd say. At home to Brøndby, at home to Estoril, and at home to Metz. We're then at home to Celta Vigo, who you'd say is probably one of the bigger clubs of the Europa League this season. And then we finish off away to Freiburg and away to CSKA Sofia. So looking at the fixtures we've got here, we've got to win at least 5 or 6 of these games minimum to actually get through to the next round. So hopefully we can do that. Genk away first of all. Hopefully we can start off with a win in the Europa League. In terms of the recent results though, guys, it's gone alright at the start of the season. Played 6 games, won 4, lost 2. The 2 games we've lost are the 2 hardest games by far in the season. So I guess you could say it's gone pretty alright, to be honest. Nothing too sensational, but also nothing too terrible either. We're currently sitting 4th in the league, as you can see. After 6 games, 12 points, average of 2 points a game. So hopefully we can keep this up for a long time. It'd be nice to spring in some upsets in there as well. But the 2 away games we did have were very tricky. So from the last episode there, where we won 2-1 against Wolves and QPR, we played Sheffield United at home. We battered them 4-0. Coric got 2 goals in this game as well. Grana got a goal as well, and Acosta. After that, we faced Man City away from home. We lost the game 2-1. Fortunately, we went 1-0 up in the game in the 3rd minute, which was very nice. Then we gave away quite a comical goal. I have to show you this goal from Alan Cruz in the 39th minute. This is the goal that got Man City back in the game, because it was quite an even game at this point, to be honest. None of us were really creating too many chances. As you can see here, by the XG, Man City were not creating anything against us, to be honest. We had 1 shot in the game. We scored the goal at that point. So to concede this goal was just, really pathetic, to tell you the truth. Out of absolutely nowhere, Alan Cruz scored a goal like this. I have no idea what the goalkeeper is doing, to be honest. Look, here he is, Alan Cruz. He scores from here. Watch this. That's funny, isn't it? With his left foot as well. It wasn't even his right foot, so it might not even curl into the net somehow. With his left foot, from the left byline, he somehow lobbed Vicario. So yeah, that's very, very bizarre. Then that man who just never seems to go away, Erling Haaland, made it 2-1 in the 78th minute. So that was kind of devastating, to be honest, to concede such a pathetic goal. to make it 1-1. Ultimately lost the game in the end, and they deserved to win in the end, but to concede the first goal like that was really shocking. After that, though, we made it 4 wins out of 5. We beat Fulham at home 1-0. Again, that man, Coric, on the score sheet. He's really looking like a fantastic replacement for Alberta. In his first month in the Premier League, he won the Player of the Month. I don't think Alberta ever won Player of the Month. So already Coric is looking like a much better player. Already Coric has done, in the first month of August in his tenure here, more than Alberta has done in 2 years, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's looking like a great signing, Coric. After that, we lost away to Newcastle 3-1. Again, a little bit annoying, this one, because we went down to 10 men after 27 minutes. Nesta Rocha got a straight red card in the game. And then after that point, they scored 2 goals quite quickly. We made it back 2-1 in the 80th minute. Gave me a bit of hope, maybe a draw. But Isak made it 3-1 in the 89th minute. So who knows what could have happened at the start of the season here. We didn't concede such a ridiculous goal against Man City. And Nesta Rocha didn't get sent off in the 27th minute. But, oh well, these things happen. The luck wasn't with us on these 2 occasions. Saying that, the luck was definitely with us in the last episode. Scored a late winner against Wolves there. So, can't complain too much. 1-4, lost 2. Hopefully we can beat Southampton in today's episode. Hopefully we can beat Genk as well. Before we get started with the Genk game though, guys, the 2 transfers I talked about in the last episode there, they have both been finalised. Recoba joined us for £2 million. He's gone back on loan to Defensor Sporting until the 31st of December. And Sebastian Fernandez, we managed to get him a work permit, and he joins from Nacional for 3.7 million, both in Uruguay, of course. Both two more Uruguayans at the club. I think it takes out to 5 now, actually, Uruguayans. We've got Rocha, of course, Acosta, and Grana. So, yeah, 5 Uruguayans at the club now. So, getting a nice little community of Uruguayans here, which is always nice. And he's on loan to Nacional to the 31st of December as well. So, these 2, they've signed, but we won't see them, not for the start of the season anyway. And to be honest, the way they're both looking like they've got a lot of potential, that is for sure. But they're looking like they both need to get more loans out. Fernandez looks more close to the first team football. What position I'll play him in, though, is a different question. I don't think he's an ideal centre-back for me, to be honest. I play with ball-playing defenders. He's got quite poor composure, as you see there. He's not great at passing the ball. He's also 5'11". But as a ball midfielder or a Carolero, which I play with, he certainly can do that role. Saying that, though, we've got Grano who's ahead of him. We've got Paul who's ahead of him right now as well. But for the future, Fernandez looks like a great one. Hopefully, Recoba will be as well. But anyway, let's get to the first game then. Away to Genk, our first game in the Europa League. And in terms of the team sheet for the first game, we made a lot of changes for today's game. We've got Southampton in 3 days' time. And maybe I'm underestimating Genk a little bit. Maybe I'll be made to eat my words at the end of the game. But to be honest, I think our B team or rotated team should have enough about us to get a result here away to Genk, to be honest. In terms of the goalkeeper, Paul Lopez makes his first start of the season. De Jong comes in at right back. He made a couple of good assists in the last episode there, but Andy Booth is still my number 1 right back for the season. That hasn't changed. He put in some good performances as well. De Jong was very important in the last episode though. 2 assists off the bench. He starts today. Verfalli starts at left back. He's mainly been playing at centre back this season. Alphonsine Jimenez centre back. Then we've got Asugo, Paul for his first start of the season, and Doué in midfield. Rocha on the right, Mertens on the left, and Pellegrini up front. So unfortunately, I've had to leave 4 players unregistered for the Europa League. That is due to the homegrown status at the club. I didn't really think about that too much at the start of the season, to be honest, where I probably should have done. We've only got 3 players in the club, in the first team squad, who are actually homegrown. One of them is homegrown in the nation, which is Andy Booth, and 2 are homegrown at the club, which I'm pretty sure is Guevara and Kieran Paul, I believe. So yeah, we've got 5. Obviously, it's minimum of 8 players trained in England for 3 years, between 18 to 21, I believe. A minimum of 4 trained at the club between 18 to 21. So we've only got 3. 2 of them are homegrown at the club, 1 homegrown in the country. So obviously we can leave some spaces, but can't leave too much spaces, and we had to leave 4 players unregistered. Those are Van Hecke, Iliev, Lafon, who are playing against his former team now, by the way, and Grana. Grana and Iliev, no complaints from them, but Van Hecke and Lafon are both not very happy about being left of the out of the Europa League squad registration. But unfortunately, there's not too much I could have done. In terms of the future, the homegrown status, well, it will look better at the end of this year. I'm pretty sure Verfalli will become homegrown by the club at the end of this year. So that's 1 added. And also Andaquia and Moreno at the end of next season will become homegrown at the club as well. So the future looks bright in terms of the homegrown players at the club, but I certainly need to look into that, maybe even as close as January, because we've been left a little bit thin in the Europa League, to tell you the truth. So hopefully I can sort that out in the future. But anyway, away to Genk, our first Europa League match. Can we start off with a win? Well, let's find out. Before we get started with this first game, guys, please remember that if you do like this video, hit that like button for me. It's really important for the video's success. And if you're watching at this point still, then surely you must like the video. So do me a favour and hit that like button for me. And also, 1,000 subs is not a million miles away now at 941, which I'm very appreciative, by the way. But if you're new around here, if you haven't subscribed, do help me out and hit that subscribe button as well. It'd be much appreciated. So let's get started with this first game, then away to Genk. To be brutally honest, I'm expecting a win here. I'm expecting a win. I've got a bit of history with Genk. I was manager of them back in like FM18 or something. And yeah, I had quite a good time there. I had a pretty good time there. It's been about 4 or 5 seasons at Genk. So due to that stupid reason, my favourite Belgian team is Genk. But I have no affiliation to them in this game. I want Portsmouth to win. Our first European game. And Dick Bareku, a former player of ours, playing against us. I can remember him playing for Genk. Dick Bareku. He doesn't worry me too much, but now I said that, he'd probably score against us now, won't he? And 22 minutes in, it's Genk who are on the attack. Here's Doué with the ball. I'm pretty sure it's Doué's first start of the season as well. He's definitely featured off the bench a couple of times. I think it's his first start. Here's De Jong with the ball to Rocha. Nice ball into Doué. He's through on goal here. He's got to score, really. He does score. He does score. Nice start to the match. 22 minutes in. We're already leading Genk 1-0, which is very nice. It's important that we get off to a good start, I'd say, in the league phase. As I said, the first 2 games, both away to Belgian teams, away to Genk and Club Brugge. Of course, we should be favourites of the game, but they're not the easiest games in the league phase. So, as I said, I would like to start off with at least 4 points out of those 2 games, because then after that, we've got 4 home games on the spin. So, it'd be nice to start off with a win here, that is for sure. Anyway, back on the highlight, here's Mertens with the ball. A Belgian lad himself. We signed him from Antwerp, though, not Genk. Fafali's Belgian as well, of course. Who do we sign Fafali from? Club Brugge, that's it. We're playing against his former team in the next game, probably. Anyway, Doué for his second goal. Oh, no, it's saved by the keeper. Back to De Jong, though. Almost lobs the keeper there. Don't think he meant that. But we're way on the front foot in this game. Dominating the first half of the match. Doesn't look like I've underestimated him too much. As it stands, our B-orientated team is doing pretty well. It's only 1-0 in the game, but absolutely dominated that first half there. Hopefully more in the second half. Not a single shot on target for Genk yet, but we shouldn't get too confident because it's only 1-0, of course. Not been the most lively of games, has it? Let's be honest, not been the most lively of games. Well, Alphonse's on a yellow card, and also we need him for the Southampton game. I'll take him off. I'll bring on Andaquia for him, put my left back with Fafali at centre back. And what other changes can I make here? You know, let's give Rocha a rest as well. Let's take off Rocha. Let's bring on Gonzalez for him. 30 minutes to go. I would really love a second goal at this point just to secure the win here. Not a single highlight in the second half yet. It's been pretty terrible, actually. And Genk is starting to get into the game now. Mertens had a poor game. Back in his native Belgium. We'll take him off. Or will we take him off? Because who can play left wing? No one. Edson is injured as well. He's a player who can play left wing. He's out for a couple of weeks, which is disappointing. So it seems like Mertens is staying on the pitch. We can take off Pellegrini, though, and bring on Koric. And also, I'm going to take off Fafali as well. Fafali is quite tired in the game. Need him for the Southampton game as well. I'll bring on Moreno. Usually play Moreno in the midfield, of course, but he can definitely play centre-back. He's a great player, Moreno, by the way. And, yeah, he's 6'1", so he's definitely got the height to play centre-back as well. 15 minutes to go. This is the perfect time to get that second goal. First highlight of the second half as well. Gonzalez just on the pitch. He passes it to Asugo. De Jong crosses it in. Koric! Oh, hits the bar. Looking for his first goal in Europe there, Koric. Been a great signing so far, as I said. One player of the month in August as a new signing. Pretty brilliant. And obviously, we saw his amazing goal in the last episode. If you watched the last episode, that is. If you did watch the last episode, then go back and hit that like button for me. It'd be much appreciated. Anyway, here at Genk with the ball is Kraft. To the Donker. Oh, my word. Thank goodness for that. Thank goodness for that pathetic finish there from De Donker. 10 minutes to go. Dominated the game. If we don't win the game, this would be criminal. And Sugo's giving the ball away, but Gonzalez wins the ball back. Here's Jimenez. It's our first game in European football for, I don't know how long, for Portsmouth. I think the last time there was in European football was like the mid-2000s or late 2000s. Koric It's a tap in for him. Is it offside though? Doesn't look like it. And it looks like we've finally got our second goal in the match. Finally. It looks like we've finally killed off the game. Yeah, Portsmouth hasn't been that long since in European football. I'm pretty sure, as I said, it was like 2008, 2009. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But it wasn't too long ago in the grand scheme of things. 2-0 in the game. This has been a very, very easy game for us, to be honest. Back on the highlight again. Can we get a third goal in the match? Here's Doué to Andaquia. Don't quite know what that pass was from Andaquia, but he gets the ball back again. Here comes Genk. Out to De Jong. Feeds it through to Gonzalez, and he makes it 3-0. Happy days. Happy days. Comfortable win in the end against Genk here. 3-0 is probably about right, to be honest. Unfortunately, it took a long time to get the second and third goal, but we've run out really deserved winners now. And we're looking like a strong force in the Europa League. But as I said, the group stages or the league phase, whatever you want to call it, they're normally, they are the most, by far, easiest part of the Europa League. If you're a bigger club from England or France or Germany, etc., you'd expect to get through the group stage quite comfortably, to be honest. It's when the teams who finish third or wherever they finish in the league phase get knocked out of Champions League. That's when it gets really serious, when you start to get the big boys in the Europa League. But anyway, apart from that, it was a great start to the first game of the Europa League here. And look at De Jong as well, by the way. He got a 9.7 rating for this game, a 9.7 at right back. He got the 2 assists late on in the game. He can get assists, can't he, De Jong? That's 4 assists now he's got in 2 episodes. So he's a pretty good fullback on attack, to tell you the truth. And lovely way to start off the Europa League. Genk couldn't even have a shot at target against us. But the next game is going to be more tricky, that is for sure. We've got Southampton away from home, our fierce rivals in the South Coast Derby. Make sure you stick around, because that game is coming up next. So, a lovely, easy start to the episode there. Away to Genk, winning the game comfortably 3-0. De Jong with a 9.7 in the match as well. And before we get started with the Southampton game, I thought it'd be right to mention some of the players here. Well, of course, De Jong, he's only started 2 games in the season. He's already got 4 assists from right back. So he's looking like a rather good piece of business, De Jong. Of course, Coric as well is looking like a great signing. He's got 5 goals in just 4 starts as well. Gonzalez has been involved in 5 goals in 6 starts. And as you can see by the ratings here, there's been very, very good performances at the start of the season. The not so good performances, well, Lucas Mertens, as you saw there, didn't do too well. He's only got a 6.6 in 7 total appearances, so he needs to buck his ideas up. Vafali as well, not been that impressive at centre-back, but still I'm sticking with him. 6.77 in 6 games as well. Edson, a little bit inconsistent. Nesta Rocha as well, not been too good. But on the whole, the team is doing pretty well. And also, one other interesting thing I noticed, I signed Moreno and Andaquia on the exact same date, of course, from the exact same club as well, Millonarios in Colombia. And when I signed them both, Andaquia was the most exciting, in my opinion, of the two. Due to his positioning mainly, he played left back, of course. We didn't have too many good left backs at the club. And Moreno was coming into midfield and was a lot of competition. But if you actually look at how the two have developed so far, Andaquia, who played all the games last season as well, lots of games, sorry. And as you can see here, no change at all in his attributes in his time here. When you look at Moreno, who is starting to look more and more good by the day, it seems, and I'm very, very excited about him now. As you can see here, mentally, he's insane mentally already. He's only 19 years of age. You look at the way he's developed here. He's had a big improvement in all of his attributes, basically. And also, one I want to point out is his passing. He started off at 8 passing when he signed here for the club. Is now already at 12. He's improved 4 on his passing, and he's improved a couple in his vision as well. He's improved physically. He's improved all across the board. So Moreno, he's looking like an unbelievable player. And it just goes to show you, in terms of the development, how quickly some of your signings can go above the other ones. And Moreno, with his versatility as well, he's looking like a much better player than Andaquia, to be honest. You actually compare the two here. I know they're playing different positions, but on the whole, Moreno is looking like a whole better player. Obviously, there's still very big hope for Andaquia. He's still only 19, about to turn 20 soon. But hopefully he can start to develop a little bit soon, because hopefully this is not the finished article of his. Hopefully he can improve like Moreno is. Moreno is looking, as I said, he's looking like he's got all the ingredients to be a world-class player in the future. But anyway, let's get to this game then, away to Southampton. They come into this game 17th in the league, just above the relegation zone. we are sitting 6th in the league. And if we win this game, we could go up to 4th place. So Southampton away from home, our fierce rivals. Hopefully you can win this one. And in terms of the team sheet, well, yeah, as you can imagine, just 3 days after playing Genk, there's been lots of changes to the starting 11. Well, Vicario comes back in goal to replace Lopez. Despite his howler against Man City, he's actually had quite a good start to the season, to be honest, Vicario, looking quite good. But I think it's safe to say that I seriously need to start thinking about replacing him as soon as possible. He's starting to decline now, his physicals, which is never nice. 34 years of age, about to turn 35. He's also in his last year of his contract, so I'm actively seeking a goalkeeper to replace him, but obviously you need money to do that, and we haven't got a lot of money left in the bank, so we'll see what happens come into the season. But Vicario at least is doing quite well. Booth comes in at right back for De Jong. Despite De Jong getting a 9.7 there, he's quite tired, and Booth, as I said, is still my number 1 right back. And Aquia comes back in the team. He effectively replaces Jimenez, and Fafali moves back to centre back. Guevara, Moreno and Acosta all come back into midfield. Gonzalez starts on the right wing to replace Rocha, of course, is suspended for the next couple of games due to that straight red card against Newcastle. Iliev starts on the left wing to replace Mertens. Iliev is not really a player I'm too interested in this season, to be honest. He's firmly a backup player, but Mertens is tired and hasn't started the season too well, so I thought, you know what, let's give Iliev a go here. Edson is injured, Rocha is suspended as well, so Iliev starts today's game to replace Mertens. And also, Koric comes back in the team to replace Pellegrini. So Southampton away from home, our fierce rivals. Can we make it 2 out of 2 in the episode? Well, let's find out. Alright, well, here we go. This is a really, really important game, obviously. The South Coast derby, a fierce rival of ours. Gives us bragging rights in the region as well. Also, it's not an easy game. Southampton are a Premier League club for a reason, so can't come here expecting that we're guaranteed a win here. Of course we're not, but I'd like to think we can get the win. Here's Acosta driving forward with the ball. Only 3 minutes on the clock. This will be a great start to the match. Oh my word, what is he doing? What was he shooting on that for? That was pretty stupid, wasn't it? Pretty stupid. Well, as it stands, even drawing the game, we're up to 4th place at the moment. Obviously, it doesn't matter too much in terms of the league at the moment. Still a long way to go, of course, but it's nice to stick around that region, even in the early stages of the season. Hopefully we can stick around the top 4, top 6 throughout the entirety of the season. Anyway, here's Iliev, who starts today's game. Back-to-back starts for him. Anyway, on the attack, Costa, lovely bit of play that was. Oh my word. Oh my word. How satisfying was that? Lovely bit of play, and Acosta with just the most satisfying of finishes to finish off that beautiful build-up. Koric heads it down to Acosta. He passes it first time to Gonzalez. He feeds it through to Acosta perfectly, and then Acosta dinks it over Bazunu. And we're 1-0 up in this fierce rivalry. Get in there. Hasn't been the greatest of starts to the match. It's very even, to be honest. No one is really creating too much, but a lovely bit of play from us, and Acosta with a lovely finish is 1-0. Ward-Prowse with the corner here for Southampton. Mr. Southampton, but he was born in Portsmouth. So I don't know about his history. I don't know whether he supported Portsmouth as a youngster or not, but he was born in Portsmouth. Anyway, here's Gonzalez to Guevara. Not too many of our players are born in Portsmouth, to be honest. I think we've got 2 players in the squad who are actually English. So that's one reason why I need to try and sort that out for future seasons, because we need to start the homegrown status. Anyway, Acosta is through and goal again. He scored again. It's 2-0 in the game now. We've only seen 2 chances for us, both for Acosta. And both times he finished it beautifully. I've changed his role this season from attacking midfield on support to attacking midfield on attack to hopefully see him get more goals. And it's certainly worked in this game. Iliev as well, started in today's game with a beautiful assist, and Acosta with another beautiful goal, and we're 2-0 up here against our fierce rivals in their stadium as well. And look at that, we only had 4 shots in the game. It hasn't been a great first half by us, but winning the game 2-0, and it could get better yet. Oof, for Fally taking a risk there, but it paid off. It paid off for now anyway. Here's Moreno to Iliev again. He passed out the Booth. Can we make it 3-0? Acosta's on a hat-trick, of course. Here's Guevara to Andaquia. Shoot Andaquia! Oh. He looked like he struck that beautifully, but just wide of the post. Well, 1 minute to go before half-time. Looks like we've got a dangerous free kick opportunity. Iliev to take it. Already got an assist in today's game, Iliev. Can he score? No. He can't even get close, really, Iliev, there. But it seemed like a good decision to start Iliev in today's game, because he's put a 7.5 so far. Got the assist for Acosta's second goal, and Mertens is all over the place at the moment. So, yeah, I'm happy with that decision as it stands. Obviously, the game is not over yet, though. Still a whole half to go, but 2-0, we've got a commanding lead as it stands. Next goal is important. 3-0 could be game over. 2-1, game on. And look at Southampton, they started off the second half on the front foot. Well, Koric hasn't been great today with 6.7 there. You know what, Guevara and Moreno aren't doing particularly too well as well. So I'm going to take off Guevara. I'm going to bring on Asugo for him. And Aquia's on a yellow card as well. Lafon, a new left back, still hasn't got a start in the season yet. I don't really put him on the bench because I don't see him as that important, being a defender. And also Jimenez can play left back if needed. So you know what, I'm going to bring on Jimenez. I'm going to play him as centre back though and put Fafali at left back because Jimenez is right footed. And I think that'll do for now. 30 minutes to go. As I said, if it goes 2-1, I can start to get a little bit nervous here. But 3-0, and I think it's game over. We haven't been great in the game at all, though, really, have we? We haven't been great at all. It's time to demand some more from the players. Let's make another couple of changes here. Moreno's tired. Gonzalez is tired as well. I'm going to take Moreno off, actually. I'm going to bring on Grana for him. Despite him being anxious, he should be alright, Grana. He's definitely a good potential player for us. And you know what? Gonzalez can come off as well. And Mertens can come on the right-hand side. 20 minutes to go. It's been quite comfortable for us, even though we haven't created too much opportunities. Southampton haven't created too much opportunities themselves. So it's been quite comfortable, even though we haven't been our best. So hopefully it's comfortable towards the end. 2-0, I will take it. I will happily take it. But here's Teze with all the space in the world here. Oh my word. Oh my word. Thank goodness Machoy is not a better player because all he had to do was cut it back to the striker there. And he had an open goal basically, be 2-1. So thank goodness for that. 10 minutes to go. Southampton have been a better team in the second half, that is for sure. Alright, 3 minutes to go now. I think it's time to start going defensive here and just holding on to the lead. So just 3 minutes added time to go in this game. We haven't been our best at all, but it looks like we're going to get the win. I've gone defensive. Barring some sort of disaster, we are guaranteed to win here. And we do win the game 2-0. It's not about performances, especially against our rival team. It's about results. And although we didn't play particularly very well, Acosta definitely turned up in the match. 2 goals from him. 2 lovely goals in the 20th and the 29th minute. And we beat Southampton at the St Mary's Stadium 2-0. Quite comfortably, it has to be said. Although, as I said, we didn't create too many chances. They had more shots than us in the game. But we didn't see anything from them in the game really at all, did we? We had 2 chances, 2 big chances. Converted both of them. And that was more than enough for us. So, yeah, lovely win. Beat Genk 3-0 away and just beat Southampton 2-0 away. And after that win, we're back up to 4th place in the league with 15 points. 5 wins out of the first 7 games. The only teams we've lost to, of course, is away to Newcastle and away to Man City. And, of course, a little bit unfortunate in both those games. But saying that, even about those little bit of unluck there, we probably still lost those games. So, I'm not making excuses for myself. But 4th in the league after 7 games. And we played Newcastle and Man City and Wolves away from home. I'm pretty happy with that. Well, this season is a lot different to most of our other seasons. The fact that we've got European football and there's a lot of games to play. So in terms of the next episode, I'm going to play a lot of games before I bring you back. I'm going to bring you back for the games at home to FC Metz, which is going to be our 5th game in the Europa League phase. And then away to Arsenal as well. And yeah, a very tricky period here for us in November. We've got to play Liverpool, Man United, then Arsenal in a row in the league games at least. So yeah, some tricky games coming up. Before that, we've got to play Newcastle away in 3 days. Obviously lost away to Newcastle already this season. This is the Carabao Cup 3rd round. So not getting much luck with our Carabao Cup draws, to be honest with you. Playing in the 3rd round these days, because we finished in the top 6 last season, I believe. So go straight through to the 3rd round. But unfortunately, we get Newcastle away from home. So I'm expecting a defeat there, to be honest. Obviously got a lot of league games coming up. Forest at home, Chelsea at home, Brighton, Norwich, Leicester. The next 5 league games are all very winnable, to be honest. So hopefully you can win 3 or 4 of those games. And the next Europa League games as well. We've got Club Brugge away, which is going to be a little bit tricky. But seeing what we've done against Genk there, I know they're not the same team, but you'd like to think we've got a good chance against Club Brugge as well. Home to Brøndby and at home to Estoril. So who knows? Going into that next episode, we might have won 4 out of our first 4 games in the Europa League. Looking for 5 out of 5. And hopefully we can go into that Arsenal game as well. Maybe still in the top 6. We shall see. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the video. Please remember that if you do like the video, hit that like button for me. As I said, it's very important for the video success. And also, if you're new around here, do hit that subscribe button as well. It'd really help me out. And it'd much appreciated. Thanks again for watching. And I'll see you for the next one.